Hey everybody, welcome back to Fab Fertile TV. Today we are talking about sleep hygiene. So we work with couples for months on sleep, and it is one of those foundational pillars that we all know that we need to, the sleep is important, but because of our fear of missing out or FOMO, that life gets in the way and we forget to prioritize our sleep. And really it's so important for health and for hormones, that you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And so we work with our clients a lot on sleep hygiene. So, Brandy, let's talk about some different strategies that we use to help our couples. The first one that comes to mind is actually the blue light blockers. So we can start there if you like.
Sure. So, I mean, blue light is one of the major reasons why many people today have issues with sleeping. We aren't used to, our bodies physiologically aren't used to the amount of artificial light that we're getting. And so as technology increases, we're starting to use cheaper and cheaper ways to light things, and so now we're at this point of using LEDs, which emit a lot of blue lights. And what that does is there's so much blue light in that spectrum that it's signaling to our brain that it's time to be awake, it's daytime, because first thing in the morning, that's when the sun is naturally going to have a larger amount of blue light. And so if you were to go out into the sun in the morning, that was going to signal a cascade of hormones to tell your body, okay, it's time to be up. This is when you're supposed to have the most energy, and it's time to get going on with your day. And we don't ever allow our bodies to shut down and to not see this blue light constantly. We're getting it from our TVs, we're getting it from our phones, our iPads, our computers. The LED lights in all of our lamps and our lights in our house are constantly on. So we have this constant barrage of blue light, and it's basically telling our system you have to be awake, and it's suppressing melatonin. And melatonin is that hormone that naturally starts to increase through later in the day, letting our bodies know it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. And so when you talk about blue light blockers, if you aren't able to, I mean, ideally, you're going to start dimming your lights. You're going to switch out the lights in your house, not being so much of the blue light LEDs, maybe getting different colored bulbs or bulbs that have different hues, like a yellowish hue. That's going to be better. I mean, if you could go with candlelight at night, that would be the best way to do it, but that's not possible for everyone. So if you can't do all of that because it is a big expense, there are some ways around it. On your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, a lot of them nowadays have programs that block the blue light. So I know the iPhone has nighttime mode, and so it'll change the color of your screen so it's not so blue. You can download F-Flux for your computer. That's another good option that you can do. Now, in terms of your TVs, there isn't really a program that you can download, but there's a lot of blue blocker sunglasses on the market. And so the cheapest ones are going to be something like a UVEX safety glass that's got a yellow tinge to it, so a yellow lens. That's kind of the cheapest option. And then you could go all the way up to things like Swannies, True Dark. There's a lot of them on the market that you can buy, but that is a good option for somebody who wants to watch TV or they have to work at night. It's a way for them to block the blue light and allow their body to unwind and allow that melatonin to start to increase in their body.
Yeah, and really we work with people to help move their phones out of the bedroom. So instead of charging it in the bedroom, charge it in a different room, because sometimes it's like it's the last thing we look at and the first thing we look at. So we got that blue light screen, and also the added, if we're looking at emails and things like that. So kind of getting anxious or down a rabbit hole of a lot of the couples we work with, we talk about this for like almost the whole coaching program about research, because it's good to research, and I have a love of learning as well, but if you go down that rabbit hole and then you're not able to sleep, you start worrying, so those sort of things before bed. So the sleep hygiene would be, I like adding in essential oils. So something like lavender. There's also on my blog, there's you can search essential oils for sleep, and so there's ones in there that are good for that. Another thing is reading is nice before bed. You just make sure you don't want to do nonfiction. And if it is fiction, you don't want to get caught reading and reading and reading and not being able to put the book down. So make sure it's not like this completely awesome book that you're up till 2 in the morning reading. So being aware of that, maybe setting a timer, saying I'm going to read for half an hour. And also like making sure that your room is cool and dark. So if people go around and actually put like a little bit of tape and stuff on, if you have any kind of lights emitting anywhere, to kind of block those out, because that can be disruptive to when you're sleeping, and maybe you need a sleep mask as well.
Yeah, for sure. So the coolness is important, because if you're overheating at night, then you're not going to sleep well. People who struggle with anxiety, one of the newer things that you could try is a weighted blanket. Sometimes people find they go to a hotel, other than all the noise and the lights, but they have so many blankets on the bed that when they lie down, they're like, ooh, this is so cozy and relaxing, because that weighted blanket kind of calms the body down. So that's an option that you can look at. In terms of the phone being in your room, if you have to have it in there for whatever reason, like an alarm clock, put it on flight mode.
Right.
So not just because of, all of those things are, all of us dive into the diving down the rabbit hole and getting on Instagram, and an hour later we're on YouTube and Facebook, and we've all done that. But the EMFs that is emitting really can disrupt your sleep. So if your bedroom also has a TV in there, or it has something like it's really close to your Wi-Fi router, like it's in your bedroom, consider moving that out of the room, because those EMFs are constantly emitting and it can disrupt your sleep. So those are some other important reasons why not having your phone in the room or a lot of electronics is important, and blocking out the light is going to be a big one. Now, you talked about a nighttime routine. It's really good to find one that works for you, because that almost in a way is like conditioning yourself, that if you have a routine that you do every single night, your body starts to get used to it and say, okay, I know what this is. This is wind down time. This is time for me to start to relax and get ready for bed. And so essential oils are amazing. Some people struggle with an imbalanced blood sugar. So even having a light snack before bed, I know there's a lot of talk out there saying, well, if you want to lose weight, don't eat after whatever time. But if you are prone to having blood sugar swings, that's going to wake up. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night consistently at around 2 or 3 in the morning, maybe think about adding a snack that's really heavy in fat and protein, and see if that helps, because that will help keep your blood sugar stable throughout the night and stop your body from waking itself up. The other thing that tends to happen is we'll do testing and we'll find that people's melatonin levels are really low. And one of the reasons for that is the blue light, because it's suppressing melatonin. If you're doing a lot of stressful things before bed, that's spiking your cortisol, and that's going to suppress your melatonin. But another reason for suppressed melatonin is gut pathogens. So we just did an episode about stool testing and why looking at the gut is important. And it's actually pretty common that if you have a lot of gut pathogens, your melatonin levels are low at night. And the reason for that is they're more active at night. It's pretty weird and gross, but it's true. And so there's a lot of different things to look at if you're having trouble sleeping, and a lot of different tips and tricks that you can use to really calm your mind and really prepare for bed and for a really good night's sleep.
Yeah, we have our couples do, you can download the app Calm, CALM.com. It has guided meditation as well as time meditation. Insight Timer is a great one. And also, if you go on the Get Pregnant Naturally podcast and look up the episode, I think it's episode 16 on meditation, there is a free trial of Expectful. So these are fertility meditations that you can do at night before bed. Another good thing to look at too also is some magnesium before bed.
Yes, this is my absolute favorite one. So magnesium is calming. So it really kind of helps to calm the body. It's in a sense a muscle relaxant. So if you tend to have issues with like achy, crampy legs or feet or muscles, that's going to help calm those down and relax them. And then we really like magnesium glycinate. There's a lot of really great magnesium. The reason I like magnesium glycinate at night is that the glycinate has glycine, and glycine has been shown to be helpful for sleep. So you're not only getting the magnesium, which is calming, but you're getting a bit of glycine as well, which is going to help with sleep. And if just taking it orally, like you can get a lot of them in their powdered form, and it's like a nice warm tea before bed. You can also look at something like a magnesium oil or a magnesium cream that you can rub on your feet, and that could be part of your routine, where you're putting a little bit of lavender maybe, and then topping that off with some magnesium oil or cream, and that's super relaxing, and you're just lying in bed and ready to drift off to sleep.
Yeah, and 80% of us are deficient in magnesium. I used to be getting these, like, all of a sudden, these daily night cramps in my feet and in my legs and calves, and sort of taking the magnesium has been really helpful. So that's really important. Also, to look at your water intake. We talk about having at least 8 glasses of water, but if you're getting up in the middle of the night 2 and 3 times a night to go to the bathroom, look at, and this is, we work with our couples on this, look at, backing up as to when you have your last water. If that has to be 6 or 7, and seeing if that will impact, because getting up every night to go to the bathroom, that impacts your blood sugar the entire next day, which then impacts your sex hormones. So really, getting a lot of people, either they're getting up to go to the bathroom, or they're getting up because they can't fall asleep, or they get up because they wake up and they can't get back to sleep. So those, again, are some clues that there could be something else going on in your body. If you're having sleep issues, is a huge clue.
Yeah, and sleep is so crucially important, and the reason we work on it throughout the entire protocol is because if we can't get the sleep down, it's going to make a lot of the other things that we're asking you or coaching you to do difficult. So Sarah, you mentioned the sleep. If you don't have adequate sleep, it can make you insulin resistant the next day. And so if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to be tired. You're going to have a lot of food cravings. It's going to make it really difficult for you to say no to that easy fast food when you're exhausted at the end of the day, and your insulin is like going up and down, your blood sugar is going up and down. You're going to say, I'm just going to go through the drive-through and eat it, even though I know I shouldn't. So sleep is so, so important, and it has a big impact on our moods. This is something we see really, really commonly. If you're not getting enough sleep, people will struggle with their moods being up and down throughout the day. So it's like one of the most important cornerstone pieces of any protocol is getting your sleep dialed in, because it's going to make everything else a lot easier.
Yeah, and just be patient with yourself. It takes a little bit of time, but really, as you start to prioritize this and know, depending on, see how much sleep that you actually need. I'm happier with 8 or 9. You may be happier with 7. Anything less than that is typically not the best for fertility or health. So you're looking between 7 to 9. So yeah, if you wanted to, we offer a free Supercharge Your Fertility Discovery call. We can talk about some additional strategies for you with sleep, and also talk about let me just say that again. So we offer a free Supercharge Your Fertility Discovery call. You can book it with the link below, and I look forward to chatting to you about some strategies to help you have your baby. Until next time.